Good morning, everyone. How are you? It's Lucy here, of course. Just to start the online class. So this is the little card set that we're doing today, and this card set was designed by Beryl McLean, the lovely Beryl McLean. So thank you very much, Beryl, for this lovely workshop. Beryl's done it in the mustard seed oxide distress ink. I'm not a big orange lover, so I thought, and just to show you the variety of colours as well that you could do it in, I've done it in the Victorian Velvet Distress Oxide ink. So it's just to give you a bit of variety, showing you that you can make cards in different colours. You don't always have to use the colours that are in the workshop. So just to give you a bit of a different idea. And then today I'm going to use the Mermaid Lagoon Distress Oxide. So you could use distress inks, you could use archival inks, whatever inks you've got. Just pick a colour that you want to play with, because the mushroom, this is the colour of the vines, the mushroom will go with anything. So any colour you pick, it will go with. So in your little kits that you've received, you'll have the 3 pieces of your pre-stamped base card. Then you'll have the 3 pieces of Hessian. You'll have a little bit of card, because what I've done is I've done the 3 sentiments that are on the cards, but I've also, if you wanted to put a different sentiment on for a different occasion, I've given you an extra piece of card so that you can stamp some other sentiments that you'd like to use. And then you'll have some mushroom card stock to then mat your little sentiments. Now, I've left the sentiments a little bit long because I thought you might want to wrap some twine around. So like I've done on this card here, on the little sentiment, I've wrapped a piece of twine around it. So if you don't want the twine, then of course you just cut it off and blend around the edge. Then you'll have a little packet of goodies here. So in here you'll have some little pearls, some little sticky pearls. They're on a little plastic backing. Then you'll have some large flowers and some small flowers. You'll have your string. Now, some of you might have had that already cut in half. Some of you might just have the one full piece. Depends where the roll of string ended when I was making up your kits. And then you'll have 3 little buttons. Okay, so that's your kit. So what I thought I'd do is just now make it up. So with the 3 cards, I like to use, as I've got the precision press here handy, I find this helps with folding your card. So if you just line it up, you can just line it up. And then of course run your bone scorer along the edge there. So I'm going to just do that with all 3 cards now. And I just find that makes it nice and easy. Then with your chosen ink, you're just going to use your blending tool, or you might use a piece of sponge. You're just going to edge around. that's the way, so just edging around. Now I wanted to tell you about, there's a really great promotion that's on until the end of the month. For every stamp you buy, for every $3 you spend on stamps, I'll say that again, you then get to pick a scrapbooking paper. So I've posted on my Facebook page, Lucy's Kaszazz at Bateau Bay. So there's a list of all the different papers that you can choose from. So if you wanted to have a look, or I've also sent you out in my newsletter, my monthly newsletter, I've emailed that out as well with pictures of the papers that you can pick from. So it's a really good idea, especially if you've had some stamps on your wish list for a while. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you was the this crackle stamp that I've used. Some of you have sort of voiced that you're interested in that. So this is the stamp set here. So this is your crackle one, then your damask stamp, and then what I call the raindrop stamp. So they're great texture stamps, great for creating backgrounds, especially like a vintage look card. They're great for. So they're the nostalgic texture stamps. So they're one of the main set of stamps that I've used in this card set. And then for the sentiments, it's from the classic range. So this is the little mini messages that the sentiments from this workshop have come from. So there's lots of lovely sentiments. You've got you're wishing you a happy birthday, just a little note, wishing you fun and laughter, just to say hello. So they're lovely little mini messages there as well. So I thought I'd just show you that in the catalogue if you're wondering where they are. So that's the 3 cards blended. Now I thought we'd tackle the Hessian. So the Hessian, oh no, we'll do the flowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate the flowers out to large and small. Okay. And that one there. So we're going to blend 4 of the small and leave 3 white. So you just pick whichever ones you want to blend. I'm going to leave 2 of the little daisies white, and we'll go maybe that one white and these 2 blue. You can always, if you decide to change your mind, you can always turn them over and have, oops, I've got 2 there. They stick together, so you might find you've got an extra flower. That's all right. Just add it if you want to. So that's 4 of those. And then I think in the instructions, I think it says to blend 6 of the flowers, but I found to get white blended, you actually only need to do 5. So it was 1 of these and then 2 of the others. So you just blend around the edge, just getting some colour on. Felt like there was 2 on that one as well. But so if we want, what we might do is make the flowers up now, and then they're done. So if we make this flower up, we're using, oh, we've got to blend those ones. So we need 2 of these blended. So again, you don't have to be super precise with this. This is just to get some colour on. There we go. Now you can stick them together with whatever you like. You could use the glossy accent. I find I don't mind using tape for the flowers, so I find that works really well. So we're going to make this one up. So we're just going to put a bit of tape on the back of that, and we're going to use one of these white ones, and we're going to use one of the coloured ones. So again, just popping it in the middle, sort of putting it a little bit off kilter. And then your other one in the middle there. And then we'll get the buttons ready and we'll put on that one. So and then we've got this one here, which is one of these ones. One of these little daisy ones. And then a little daisy one. So now I've just attached these with, as you can see, the double-sided tape. But if you wanted to lift them up, give it a little bit more dimension, you could put a piece of mounting tape on the back of the larger ones. Whatever you feel, whatever your heart desires. So then there's that one. And then we'll do this one, which is this one and this one. Oh, and in your pack you would have got your vine pieces as well. So you should have had 3 of the little one and 2 of the large one. Now, if you are missing anything from your packs, I've been pretty diligent, but, you know, we all can make mistakes. Please just let me know. And then we need to do this little one. It's got one of those on the back. Now, I like to add the pearls to the centres of the flowers once they're all on the card. And then we've got this one here. Now you've got your set of instructions in your card kit. So if you prefer to read the instructions, then of course they're there for you. Then we've got our 2 little white ones, and then we've got this one left over. Oh, this one. No. That one's got that one. Ah, I think we had one left over. I think you can put something in the centre of that as well, a 4th one in the centre of that, but I haven't bothered, so. Whatever you like. You've got enough flowers to do what you want to do with. You could add an extra one on here. There you go. So that's that. Oh no, we've got this one left over. That one and that one. No, that's that one. Ah, that's that one. You don't have any left over. I thought I'd counted them out correctly. There we go. Okay, so that's all your flowers ready to put on. Now, I suppose this next part is a little bit of the fiddly part. So what you're going to do to create your Hessian backgrounds, so we might start with this one. Oh no, let's tackle this one first because that's a bit more of a fiddle. So what you're going to do is just with your fingernails, just pull off, or you can use your paper piercer, which might be handier, you're just going to pull off some of these extra strings. I'm just going to pull a few off just to fray the ends. So you can pull off as many as you like. I'm going to pull off a few more. Okay. Yep, happy with that. Maybe one more. Oh, let's get one more. Okay. So now don't throw that away because you're going to use that to thread through your buttons. So with your piece of string, if you've got one whole piece, you're just going to cut that piece in half. And you're going to use this piece. As you can see here, we've tied some string around the Hessian. So all we're going to do is sort of have it going lower this way. I'm going to tie it around and then bring it so I like it going a bit diagonal so it crosses over. And then you're just going to tie it off. So I'll put this a little bit lower. And then I'll just pop it up a bit higher. So this is, like I said, it's a little bit of a fiddle until you're happy with where you've got your string going. And then you're just going to tie a bow. My hands are shaking, I must be nervous. And of course it's gone upside down. That's all right, we can just have it coming from the top on this one. So I'm going to have that coming from the top. I'll see how it goes. Will that work? No, it won't. Let's try again. Then just have a little play. Okay, so that's better. Now we're just going to put some tape on the back. Now again with the Hessian, in the instructions it'll say to use multimedia matte. I find that a little bit messy, so you're most welcome to use that, but I just find the tape works just as well, and it's just a little bit less messy. So just putting your 4 pieces on around the sides. Again, you don't want to put them on this part here. You put them on the centre part. And just for added extra bonus, just to pop, make sure it does stick down because it's got the string there, so it's a little bit bulky. And then just run your thumb along the tape. And I find that sort of works quite nicely. Then we're just going to peel off the backing. And then we're going to place it. So just centre it, or sort of towards the bottom. And then stick down, just press down. So that's there ready to go. Okay, we may as well just build this one up as we've got it there already. So what we've done here is I've just cut this piece off, so that was joined into there, and we're going to pop this piece under. So just positioning that until you're happy with that. I'm thinking about there. Line's a bit grabby. So I'm thinking about there is fine. Just lifting that up a bit higher. So then I'm going to use glossy accent to stick this down. So I'm just going to put a glob of glossy accent on there and hold that down. I'm not going to stick everything down because I actually quite like the fact that that's sticking up and giving a real dimension to the card. Then I'm going to pop this bit up here. So you can use a glossy. The other thing that you can use, of course, is the Crafter's Companion tape. So just putting a bit of that on. Again, it's whatever you prefer. So I'm going to stick that on there. And then we've got one of the little vines. I'm just popping a bit around. That's sticking to me, not to the Hessian. No, it's sticking there. And then we've got our flower. So we can just pop that on there. Okay. Then we've got our little pearl to stick in the corner. And I find the paper piercer is really handy with doing this. So I just use the paper piercer to sort of just pick it up, and then I'm just going to pop it down in that corner there. Now to do the button, we're just going to get some of the little strands that we've pulled off. I find it easier to use these because they don't fray as much when you're threading to the button. So the button has some of them will have a dark side and some of them will have a white side. I kind of, even though it's same as what the flower is, I kind of like that, but just, you know, work out what you want. I just think that's a bit dark, so I'm going to use the pale side. So just thread the strands through and then thread them through the other side. And then just tie a knot. So just a single knot will do it. Again, I think a double knot is just too bulky, and I find the single knot just holds nicely anyway. And just cut off the extra bits. And then a glob of glossy accent in the middle. And your little button. In the middle. So that's that part done. And then we've just got our little sentiments. So with the sentiments, it's up to you how you put them on. Like I was saying before, you could decide to, I'm going to use our cutter here, so I'll just put that aside for a second. So you could just cut it off neatly. edge around it with whatever colour you're using. Then you're going to mount, back it with a little bit of the mushroom card that I've given you. So just some tape on the back. And then line it up with two sides so that you're happy with the border on two sides. And then you can just cut it off so that you've got an even border. That's pretty even. This may be a skerrick. Just a tiny bit. That looks good. The tiniest bit off there. Beautiful. So that's just your plain one. So then I just mount that with, say, 3 pieces of mounting tape. Plonking that in there. So you've just got the plain one. You could then do, so what I've done here is I've put the string just around the white piece, or you could put the string around the whole piece. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate now. So we'll cut this off a little bit because I've left that probably a little bit too long. Now, I found when I was doing this, so you need about 10 centimetres. So we'll just, whatever you've got left, you can just cut into approximate three pieces. But what I found is that that was a bit too bulky if you're wanting to wind it around twice. So what I've done is untwisted it, and you'll see you've got three strands. So then what I've done instead is just use two of those strands. And just tied it around. Okay, so what you can do also is mat your sentiment first, which is probably a little bit less fiddly. So, and again, matting your little sentiments is a great way of using up your scraps of card. That worked out well. That was fits quite nicely there. Then we'll just trim off that bit there. Pretty happy with that. So we've got that there. So now we've got our string. Oops. And just tie it. Now the string is probably long enough that you could tie it in a bow, but I'm not going to. can spread your string if you want to. And then just give it a little snip. So you could leave it like that, or you can, with your little paper piercer, you can actually draw out the strands a little bit more so they're a bit more frayed. So it's just the effect, the look that you like. And then just popping your mounting tape on the back again. I'm going to put it over the string just to hold that string in place. So that's ready for the next card. Now the other thing you could do is flag the end. So you can put a little V. Putting a little V in the end of your little sentiment. And then just, again, blending around. And then just some tape on the back. Again, just lining up. That's a bit wide. Just cut another little bit more off. That's better. Oh, and just trim that up. And then we just cut freehand into the middle. There we go. So then we've got a little flag there. So that's the sort of some different ways that you can do your little sentiments. And we'll just put some tape on that to have that one ready to go as well. Now the other thing I wanted to mention to you is if anybody is interested in getting a kit, so if you didn't get a kit and you'd like a kit, just let me know. I'm happy to make you up a kit. The other thing I'd like to offer everyone that has bought a kit or intends to buy a kit is I'd like to offer you 10% off any of the products if you'd like to order them. So any of the products that are used in this card set, and you think, oh, I'd really like to make this set again, then I'm very happy to order those products for you with a 10% discount. Now, let's get on with the rest of them. So what we might do is then do this one next. So again, we're just going to fray the Hessian piece. So you'll notice that one is longer. So that's going to be this one, and then one is a little bit more square, so not quite as long. So that's for this one. I think that's about enough. And then tape on the back again. And again, just normally if I was using card, I wouldn't put a piece down the middle, but with the Hessian, you just want to make sure it's nice and stuck down. So I just tend to put that extra piece in the middle. Just again, rubbing it down, rubbing the tape down. Right. And again, if you're finding you don't have the nails to get the tape off, you can always use your paper piercer. So this one we're going to put up a little bit higher. And just give it a nice firm rub down. We're going to add a little bit of the vine to the bottom. Just on that lower part there, because again I want it to be sticking up. And then we've got this little flower. And again, you know, if you want to place your flowers differently to what I've placed them, there's no hard and fast rules, lovely ladies. You put them where you want to put them. If the way you've orientated your vine is a little bit different to the way I've orientated mine, that's perfectly fine. These are your cards, not mine. And each time I do these, I think I do it slightly different, so it just depends on the placement, really. I tend to like to overlap the flowers a little bit. I didn't put any tape on those ones. There we go. A little bit of tape for you, a little bit of tape for you. And our sentiment down the bottom. And then just adding little pearls. So you've got a couple of different sizes in the pearls that I've given you. So you just add the ones that you want to add to whichever flowers. I'll put them that little one. When I've got it left over, I'll put a little one there too. Then I've got the big one. This one, and I've got another button. So again, just grabbing a couple of pieces of string, deciding on what colour, what side of the button you want to use. Again, like I said, I like the shiny pearly side. But if you want that contrast, then of course use the brown side. A bit of a trim. Love a glossy accent. Just hold your button for about, I don't know, 5-10 seconds so that it can take, and then that's that one done. And then the last one. So again, we're going to trim off, remove a few of these end strings. Again, you take off as much as you like. with that. Okay, I'm just going to run 3 down. Give it a rub down. And then just peel off. Okay, and that's just going to go down the middle. Now you're going to cut this in half, so wherever you want to cut it in half, I'm probably just going to snip it off in the same position I snipped before. So this part I'm going to stick up here. And again, I probably haven't followed the instructions very well with this one. I've just put it on where I feel I want to put it. Then we can add a little sentiment just so that it doesn't get missed on there. By the time I've put everything on and then forgotten to put the sentiment on. So because the sentiment's sort of incorporated. So I think the flag one actually looks nice on there. And then we're going to just plonk our flowers on. I'm going to do things a little bit differently this time. I'm going to put the bigger one there. Just to show you there are no hard and fast rules. It's whatever you want to do. Like I said before, your cards. Oh, we can pop another vine on. We've got another little vine there I forgot about. Just lift that up and plonk him over there. Go and let that tucked away. And then our last little button. Tie it off. Give it a snip. Glob of glossy accent. Just press down for the minute. And then the last two. Last two little pearls. So again, there's the little set that we've done today. And there's your little pink set. So I hope you've enjoyed the class, and I'll speak to you again soon. And like I said, if you've ever got any questions about anything, please feel free to give me a call. Okay, bye. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend. Bye.